Our roads today take us to a truly magical place located in Lika, Croatia. I've been hearing about this place for many years, but I never had an opportunity to visit it. So today we're going to visit it together. Some would describe this land as rugged, but all I saw was a lush and gentle land. Perhaps I was fooled by fragrant wild strawberry fields, the ripening wheat, and the gentle sound of sheep grazing the outskirts of Velebit Mountain. So let's head out to visit this hidden little jewel. After the COVID, one of my friends decided to move from Canada back to Lika to re-establish old family farm. Knowing how successful she was in a fashion world, I was intrigued to find out what drew her back, what made her make such a big move and big decision. Olga, who you're going to meet in a minute, was always a big fan of nature, but I sense that there is another reason why she made such a big decision and big life change. I was telling you, I came here purposely. I'm exhausted, but I know that she came to start something new and something different.
Look at this.
You know, she stole the best piece of Croatia, which is, she's only 4 hours away from the Croatian coast, and yet she's enjoying this private valley.
Adriatic Sea on 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers. 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers.
Oh, so that's not even 4 hours.
No, half an hour.
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
There was no time for small talk. Olga went straight to the point, showing me what she's been doing and telling me about all the plans she has for this place. For some, Lika soil can be a challenge, but not for this girl who was born and raised in Montenegro. It was so easy to feel welcome and at home among these beautiful mountains and friends. Should you ever travel through Balkan region, you will find out that hospitality is such a huge component of its culture. Setting time aside from a busy life for family, friends, nature, and a good food is a must. When I say good food, I'm talking about locally grown and homemade dishes that somehow bring everybody together and make everyone happy. Our appetizer tonight is this homemade cheese and spinach strudel. The pets know that there's some good food coming up, so everybody's sticking around. My talented and ambitious friend made a name for herself in a fashion world. Her numerous designs and fashion shows speak for themselves. Boami Designs was a well-known name in Canada and beyond. But all of that changed, and today she's chasing a different kind of green. No longer in pursuit of career, success, and green dollars, today she's chasing a dream of green pastures and spending more quality family time with her family and her grandkids in particular. Her husband Basil was on the same page, as he too wanted to invest more of his time and his means into building memories with the kids and grandkids. As a family, they were always close, but now they wanted to incorporate more of their friends and extended family in their lives.
ne možeš poništiti jer je previše kamena. I onda sam donijela novi kamen, okružila sve. Ovdje je plan da napravim sve stazu, onaj mozaik.
While she replaced fast-paced life for more nature and more calm, her fast-paced mind is very much still with her. She spent hours telling me about all the wonderful things she plans to do with this property, and this was just a sample of what that dream might look like. There is much to be said about growing our own food. Here are the reasons why you should consider planting an apple tree. Besides the pleasure you will get of seeing your tree come to fruition, in a case of apples, they are great for your gut health, for your heart, digestion, for brain. They help you lower your chances of cancer and diabetes, and they are wonderful for your mental health. I wanted to take a walk to get a concept of the size of this property and its full potential, and I was simply amazed to see how much was accomplished in just a year of her being in Croatia in Lika. Not too long ago, the small estate and the fields were completely abandoned. The well-rested soil was ready for Olgica's and Basil's willing hands. Freshly plowed earth is bearing all sorts of beautiful fruits and vegetables. Fields of potatoes and beans go as far as your eyes can see. Interestingly, these crops were growing side by side to wildflowers. Idea behind these fields and gardens is to produce a truly organic and fresh food for their kids and grandkids. During the late 80s and early 90s, many young people left former Yugoslavia in pursuit of better life and opportunity. Olgica and Basil chose Canada as their second home. After many years abroad, they couldn't pick a better time to return to Croatia, as the country is currently implementing sustainable development of economically viable farms, the processing sector, and the improvement of living and working conditions in rural areas. The focus has shifted to small and young farmers. Croatian agriculture is categorized by small family agricultural holdings, often located in mountain or limestone areas and areas facing natural or other specific constraints for farming. Forests cover 37% of the total area of Croatia. About 68% of the utilized agricultural area is arable land, while 26% is mostly permanent grasslands and meadows. There are roughly about 134,000 farms in Croatia. While the average farm manages about 11 acres of land, almost 70% of them cover less than 5 acres. More than 1.7 million people live outside major cities, which represents 22.5% of Croatian population. The time could not be better to return to land and embrace this old way of life. And speaking of old way of life, I truly enjoyed the food Olgica served, and I'm going to try to recreate this recipe together with you. This particular dish is made out of the blend of meats. Normally it's lamb and beef, but I'm going to use equal portions of lamb, beef, and pork. We're going to salt it, garlic powder, and black pepper per your taste, and then we're going to finish it with these special sun-dried peppers. These are homegrown, hand-picked and sun-dried roasted peppers that my friend's mother grows in Macedonia. And here comes unexpected ingredient, which is mineral water. In a minute, I'll tell you why. For now, let's just mix it. You can use your hand or you can use wooden spatula. Once done, cover it and set it in a fridge for 2 to 3 hours. Abandoning small farms has been a growing trend in many parts of the world since 1940s. Industrialization, commercial farming, and urbanization has motivated many farmers to migrate. Now we are starting to understand that abandonment of small farms and agricultural land has many, mostly negative socioeconomic and environmental consequences. Did you know that most of the world's more than 570 million farmers are small and family-run? Small farms consisting of 2 acres or less operate about 12% of the world's agricultural land. From a personal perspective, I am very encouraged by a growing trend among younger families who are now exploring possibility of returning to some of these small farms. Encouraging small food growers is a big passion of mine. I'm convinced that we all should be producing food, whether we plant it in a pot or it's on a large farm. For that reason, each year, my charity donates hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free fruit and vegetable seeds to public in America. You can find out more about this project called Little Sprouts by visiting our website under vladav.com. Apricots, and what's good about them? I loved my apricot tree even before I knew that apricots were so healthy for heart, for our eyes, skin, for our digestion, hair, and for reducing inflammation. I find so much joy in growing these fruits, and in return, they bless me with the healthy fruit. All right, let's go back to preparing cevapcici. When making this particular dish, you need a special type of bread called lepinja. It's similar to pita bread, and I would love to show you how to make it. We'll start with a cup of water, 2 teaspoons of dry yeast, and a teaspoon of sugar, and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. In a separate dish, we're gonna add a cup of milk and 1/4 cup of sour cream, and we're gonna bring this to lukewarm temperature. Next is 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. In about 5 to 10 minutes, your yeast mixture should look like this. And now we are ready to add the milk to it. Once that's mixed, we're gonna add 2 cups of all-purpose flour and we're gonna mix it in really well. The idea is to create a very thin dough like this one is. Once combined, we're going to set it to rest for additional 15 to 20 minutes. Now the dough has risen, we're going to add some more flour, approximately 2 more cups. Our intention is to keep the dough soft. So this is the most important tip. Unlike the bread dough, this dough should remain soft. And once you're done combining it, just let it sit and rest again. Everybody knows basil adds a lot of flavor to our dishes. But did you know basil is a great source of vitamin K and vitamin A as well as copper? It's been used in stomach spasms and to improve loss of appetite for the intestinal gas, kidney conditions, fluid retention, and head colds. An antioxidant and anti-inflammatory food, basil can help the muscle that control blood vessel function contract and relax, promoting healthy blood pressure. Right from a happy tummy to clear skin, basil leaves work wonders for our mind and our body. Just like any other job, farming is not easy, but there are many ways to make a decent living. Some of the ideas would include to raise meat and sell it, or to offer breeding services if you have animals. Start a herd share, rent your goats or your sheep for land management, or perhaps leasing your land or your pastures. People who are starting to embrace this way of life do it for the lifestyle itself, not necessarily for the money. The ultimate reward in this situation is the opportunity and the privilege to engage with nature and to produce some of the highest quality foods. After our coffee and the appetizers, Olga took me for a walk through wild fields around her property. She was so excited to show me all the food the land was producing on her property and around it. It was wonderful to see how happy she was in this place. For dessert tonight, she's serving wild strawberries, and there is a field right next to her property full of wild strawberries. This is the first time I have been in a wild strawberry field. And for all of you who have not had this experience in your life, I just want to tell you that fragrance and the taste of wild strawberries is nothing like you have tasted before. I did some research on health benefits of wild strawberries, and I found out that they are a great aid in controlling diabetes and preventing cancer. They also regulate blood pressure, aid digestion, detoxify the body, boost immunity, prevent liver damage, heal sore throat, and prevent premature aging. No wonder my friend was so youthful and vibrant. During the old times, travelers would pick these to hydrate. Even today, these delicious strawberries are sold on markets and piazzas all around Europe. By the way, they are great for making strawberry jam. It took me almost 6-7 hours to get here, but I'm so glad I made a trip because I knew this place would be magical. You know, after everything I have seen, she brought me here to a strawberry field, wild strawberries. They are amazing. Imagine if every child in this world would be able to pick fresh fruit and vegetables right in its backyard. Imagine that. Such a notion will continue to inspire me. I hope to see that our charities project, Little Sprouts, will continue to grow and encourage families, particularly young families and their kids, to start gardening, even if it's in a small pot. This kind of life definitely calls my name. I grew up on a farm, so this comes so naturally to me. The smell of fresh herbs, the earth, the animals, and the smell of animals too, and the fresh food, of course. It's amazing. And just like that, dinner was being served because there's always plenty of time and food for friends. It's time to return to our recipe. The meat had a chance to cool and now it's time to roll it out. I'm just rolling the meat now in about the breakfast sausage sizes, after which we're gonna grill it. Normally, these are made smaller using equipment for sausage making. But since we don't have a lot of meat and I'm trying to make and cook these faster, I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger. Earlier this morning, I made that cheese roll that Olga made, except she made it with spinach and cheese, and I just made it with cheese, and I made it in a little bit different shape. That's in an oven already, and we can serve that as an appetizer. By the way, this meat rolling is a great little project that you can do together with your kids. Now that we have meat all taken care of, we're going back to our dough. As you can see, the dough has risen once again, and it's really liquidy if you can notice. It's very soft, very moist, and this is exactly what we want. Separate the dough in 8 to 10 small pieces and let them rise once again. Spread them out a little bit, bake on 350, and you're ready. I was so impressed with Olga's alfresco dining that when I came back to States, I wanted to serve my food outdoors as well. Besides, this is what summer Sundays should be all about. Spending a day with family, cooking, gathering, dining together, and if you can do it outdoors, even better. I was inspired by Olga's and Borja's decision to change their lifestyle. It would be unrealistic to say that this does not require a lot of effort and commitment. But then again, isn't that exactly what our lives should be all about? Isn't that where we should spend our energy? Creating the life with our family and creating the memories that will last a lifetime. With that in mind, I'm off to set the table, but first I'm gonna pick some lavender. Nice table today. Yes, life is hard, but it's also very beautiful, and it deserves to be celebrated. We so often get lazy and forget how much goodness is around us, just waiting for us to notice it. As grown-ups, we have a responsibility to teach our kids that life is more than just running around, stressing and working. Sometimes you just have to stay still, stay put, and let everything around you come to you. Absorb it, enjoy it, notice it, and recognize it. And when you add a good food to that, you really have it made. Cevapcici came out so good. Our modern lives will soon have a whole nother reality thanks to the internet, the technology, and the artificial intelligence. Regardless of how we approach it and where we arrive as a society, the human beings will always need the nature. In fact, I believe that staying close to the nature and to organic and a natural source of food is the key to our survival and well-being. And that goes for all of us, no matter the country, religion, culture, or the origin. This has become more evident in the recent years, especially after COVID, as our youth faces more social and emotional anxieties and disconnect, as well as various mental illnesses. Luckily, there is a remedy, and it turns out to be quite simple. Simplifying our lives and focusing on what truly matters to us and to the environment in which our kids will grow is one way to begin. We all gotta make sure that we don't easily let go of what humanity has known for centuries and overreach for the future.
Watch those silly cats.
We need to pay close attention to building strong families and communities. And we also need to pay close attention to nature as it gives many benefits to humans, from the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. Nature enhances our and our children's well-being, and it freely provides the essentials for our survival. We have learned so much from this trip. This program is brought to you by Vlada's Seeds of Life, a charitable organization whose mission is building stronger, better connected, and happier families and communities in America and beyond. Thank you for joining us on our travels as we bring you stories from around the world about the different cultures and people and how they stay connected to each other and to the nature around them. Special thank you to Olga and Basil for opening their home to us for this particular episode. Sharing simple stories of real people and their lives is more important than ever. And we hope that this episode was equally educational, inspiring as fun. In our next episode, we are going from beautiful Croatia to coast of California. Join us as we sail beautiful San Diego and try to learn a thing or two about surfing. Until then, may you live your life to the fullest, and may your tablecloths catch some sunshine and good breezes. Thank you again for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us through vladav.com.